Your hypocrisy serves no one. I thought about that this morning and also the definition of the word hypocrisy, and it is the act of pretending to be someone or something you are not, or to believe something you do not. And so that would mean that your hypocrisy would to believe that you couldn't be this really great person, that you don't have something of value to offer the world, that you don't have this really unique life purpose. That would be your hypocrisy. And then the other part of that would be pretending that you don't know that, pretending that that isn't true for you because we know that it's true for everyone. But it just takes us a while to get there. And there was a message on my site, anyadvicefortoday.com, and it says, you have the power to move beyond your limitations. And that came through from my Wilhelm a couple days ago, but it's on there on there today. But when I got up this morning, there was something else. I was reminded to go back to a different message. And I'm going to read that one to you, and then I'm going to explain it to you, and then I'm going to tell you why I know you might be a little bit hypocritical, because if you're not living this really great life, if you're not really loving yourself and doing what you were given to bring to the world, then you could be acting in a very hypocritical way. And I can say that because I've done it. We all do it. It's a process of us expanding into believing in who we are and that consciousness, and that's a different journey for every single person. There was another message that came up on for this day. I'll explain that too. That said, you are different and the same, meaning that every human is the same in how they come into the world, but we're different in how we will process that and how we will become who we're meant to be, which is unique. And that is the greatest difficulty that many of us have, is becoming our unique selves, which is why we don't do self-discovery, or we don't want to do shadow work or look at who we might be on the deeper internal level. And I was hypocritical because I'm supposed to tell you all of that, you see. But let me read the message to you first, and then we shall talk about it. And it came through, as you can see, on October 15th of 2020. And it says, your hypocrisy serves no one, and least of all you. We struggled with Roger for quite a while to get him to write those words, as they are somewhat embarrassing for him. But Roger also knows that his job, to which we continually refer, is to teach. And you cannot teach what you do not know. Yesterday, Roger held his webinar on life purpose, which we told you would be brilliant, and that it was. During his talks, Roger told the attendees that everything they were given in their lives was meant to serve a purpose. And it would do that when they owned every experience and circumstance of their life and seek to extract the wisdom the event was meant to foster in their lives, and therefore the world. Yes, we are still cleverly speaking on the restructuring of you and your planet. This morning, we led Roger to a video, and he kept questioning why we wanted him to listen. The video spoke on the connections between physical ailments of the body and spiritual alignment or integration. Roger told others in the group that no matter what they had experienced, it held meaning not only to them, but to others when they were willing to embody their experiences. Roger lived a life with more illnesses and physical difficulties than most, and has somehow managed to move through them also, despite his chronological age. Why would he not speak on this? Now you understand the hypocrisy of which we spoke. You each have it, as does your world. But the good news is your current restructuring is causing you and the world to adjust as Roger is now. Roger will release his online program, and he wants it to provide others with the tools to reach a state of empowerment in their lives, which cannot occur if you disown any part of you. We are whispering to you and the United States. Yes, we are creative. And what that means is that my life led me to become this mystic prophet and a sage, and I brought in information, and because of that, it healed my life in ways that I could not explain. But that is what we're all meant to do. When we come into the world, we're supposed to bring something new. But that can also be challenging, as it was for me, because then you don't believe it. I didn't believe it. I couldn't believe that this work that Wilhelm had given me could transform my life. And then I knew that it could actually do that for the world. Because when that was talking about the restructuring in the United States, I knew exactly where we would be because we're coming into this great place of planetary ascension. And that's what I'm speaking about on this coming Saturday when I go to Colorado to participate in the channeling conference for Gaia. And I'll leave a link there so you can watch it. Because what I'm talking about is that everything that is occurring now is an energetic shift and we're all affected. The world is affected, the countries and all of that. And I just happen to be given the information in a way to understand it and to help others do the same thing. But I'm being hypocritical if I'm not telling you that. But I won't have that opportunity to hide anymore. I'm saying that because that's the only thing you do. The only thing that we will fear is ourselves because we're not limited. We have all the ability and talent to do whatever, but it is in our consciousness. So we have to do something to change our consciousness because it's always limited. That's limited within us as the individual and also our society. Everyone will not want to do that. See, and so that's the other thing I was told. You cannot expect them to change. What that means is you're going to see a whole bunch of people in your life and in the world that you're not going to like. They're going to be demonstrating things that are not, that they had forgotten who they are. They had forgotten their connection to source or to God or whatever that is. And so that means that you have to do that. Because when we understand the energies of how everything operates in the world, then we know that we heal everything by deciding to become aligned with ourselves. That's what that message said, and that's what's happened in my life. And now that's what I'm going to be giving to others. And it's I got to tell you, I don't care where you are, what you've experienced, you have no limitations. I got to tell you that because I'm going to be 74 in like well a little over two weeks. That's what's going to happen. And I'm thinking, how did that occur? I had everything wrong. I had every illness. I had every disease. How did that happen? I'm saying this because I need you to understand that you can accomplish anything. And the more of us who decide to do that, we will see a very different world because we pass that on to others. What we're witnessing now is the emergence of a generational shift, and there's so many things that I will explain about why this period has been so stressful, and a lot of that will come through, I know, in the channeling session, but also on the channeling session I'm going to hold for the full moon this coming Thursday, and so you might want to attend that as well. What happens is we live in different dimensions of consciousness always. As we're in this physical body, we know that we think differently than others, and there are different levels of consciousness, and there's a collective consciousness. And so, what we're always attempting to do when we live is to raise that consciousness within us and within our world. And we can't do that unless we decide to remember who we are. Remember that you were told when you were born that you had all this potential and that you were just as powerful as anyone else, but then you talked yourself out of it. And I understand that. And this is why I was given a new philosophy. You see, the new philosophy is called your life operating instructions. And that's what's going to come through on Saturday as well, because that I have no control when I'm channeling Wilhelm. They say everything. And they said, we've given you everything that could transform your life and your world. Look at Roger. He's healed. That's what comes through. But again, it's going to be you remembering how powerful you are and then deciding to embrace it. And I will tell you, it takes time. It does not have to take as much time as did for me because I can give to others more. That's what you're meant to do. That's how evolution happens. We discover something, bring something new to the world, and we leave it for others. We don't live forever. And so it's a great idea if you decide that you're going to embody yourself now. But it's also a really great idea to do that because then energetically you'll help change the world into the one you want to see and then also the life that you want to live. I'm saying that because those things are connected. We always come to understand that eventually. Thank you so much for being here. If it's your first time, please subscribe to the channel and share it with others. I'll leave links in this description because I have an interview that's being released today on a summit called Cosmic Truth, and I'd love for you to hear that. So I'll leave the link here, and it'll be available. It's running this week, and then also the link for the session on Friday, and I'm sorry, on Thursday for the channeling session, and then on Saturday for the Gaia channeling conference. You can accomplish anything, and I know that. See you soon.